here today at Voxfm with station manager Steen, head of the Phoenix Theatre. Firstly, Steen, would you mind telling me where did the idea for the Phoenix come from?
What we needed was an independent artist-run theatre space. Most theatres in Wollongong are either businesses. It was either the iPad, which is a commercial theatre space, or groups like the Arcadians Workshop Theatre and Rue, which are theatre clubs, where they perform for their members. So we needed something that was independent, artist-run, where there was no membership and people could feel that whatever they brought to us they could do. So it needed to be artist-run, was the first thing. It needed to be experimental and have the ability to be, avant-garde or alternative. And it also needed the ability to be flexible.
How long has the idea been forming for? When did it first form and how has it changed development?
That depends on how you look at it. I first got the idea for an independent artist-run theatre space about 15 years ago. Tried it twice before, didn't quite work, mainly because of time and money. Now this one just seemed to happen to come up. It was written into the Wollongong Council's cultural plan, which I helped work on, that a theatre and radio station would be a perfect marriage with each other. And at the time, Theatre South had just closed down and the building was left empty. And we thought that would actually make a very good home for the radio station, and the radio station would support the theatre. And so we basically applied to council to take the building over and go.
And what sort of theatre is the Phoenix aimed at producing?
Alternative, avant-garde, non-mainstream. The theatre itself, the Phoenix itself, won't produce Broadway musicals, it won't produce David Williamson or sort of theatre in that style, but it will allow others to produce it. But ourselves, we will produce a mixture of old works, like classic works that aren't often done, and new works by new local writers. Local as in Australia, not necessarily Wollongong.
And what sort of target audience are you aiming at?
We're looking at the younger audience. We're going, which is something again that's not really been done in Wollongong. We're going for the 18 to 40 audience. People who are educated, internet savvy, modern media savvy, and interested in expanding what is the traditional sense of theatre. We don't want to do theatre that's safe.
What is your role at the Phoenix?
I'm artistic director and the chairman as well as manager, so basically I'm the driving force behind it. But it has a committee of 11 people who are also very big movers and shakers in the theatre scene in Wollongong. People like Janice Hayes from the university's Creative Arts Department, and Nora Jenkins, who works with Circus Wow and Monoxide, Laurel Lee, who is former Sydney Theatre Company person and has come along and joined us. Other people are into physical theatre, musical theatre, so it's a fairly broad mix of people.
What shows is the Phoenix currently working on?
We're not telling anyone. We're keeping our seasons completely under wraps until they're announced officially. We do have pieces that range from Greek tragedy to modern musical theatre, but yeah, we're keeping everything very firmly under wraps. Even the cast of the first two shows don't know what they're in.
Very close.
Oh, very.
How did you personally get involved in performance?
That's primary school, doing the nativity play because I was at a Catholic school, and I had to play one of the three wise men. And I liked dressing up in a sheet, and that started me in theatre. And from there, I also have an aunt who's fairly well known as a playwright called Marguerite Steen, and she used to take me to theatre in Sydney, and rather than take me to go and see the pantomimes and the musicals, she used to take me to the Newtown Theatre and see the political theatre. So I didn't grow up on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but the Legend of King O'Malley and Oh What a Lovely War Mate and Accidental Life of an Anarchist. I remember seeing it about 9. So I got to see some very strange theatre at a very young age.
What sort of this isn't a question. This is a question I meant to write down, but I forgot to write it. What sort of training have you had in theatre?
Oh, God. I started at a drama school called Wollongong Drama Centre, and my mime teacher was Glenn Nicholas, who became a relatively well-known comic and mime artist. Moved from there to various theatre schools and theatre teachers, all independent. I've never done the major institutions. I've done workshops with Peter Brook, Marcel Marceau, Edouard Montreux, where I did 2 very long 6-month courses in a very particular style of theatre that's used by, I think, people who've attended his school were David Bowie, Tilda Swinton's been there, Sean Bean, a lot of the new upcoming sort of avant-garde people. Then I did some puppetry work with Dale Woodward, who was a local puppeteer, an exceptional puppeteer. Philippe Gentil, Sydney Dance Company workshops, mainly workshop-based. So, because studying in the main course, I didn't want to settle on one style. I've done everything from Suzuki through to Method, through to Felton Crafts and Yacht. So I've done all the methods and developed my own.
Next question. For one all. How long have you been involved in performance in your work? 19. How long have you been involved?
Right, I started in about 1978 at Workshop Theatre. Went overseas for a while, moved to Sydney for a while, came back. So I sort of settled back in Wollongong permanently in 1986. Since then, I did a few things professionally in Sydney. Since then, I've been working mainly in theatre in Wollongong consistently since '86. So 22 years since I moved back to Wollongong.
And in that time, what predominantly have you worked on?
Oh God, everything from ancient Roman comedies that has actually the play that has the first fart joke in theatre history, through to the most extreme modern works.
Through that reciting the experience in your work.
Yeah, so I've done everything. I do a lot of Shakespeare. I'm pretty much finished with Shakespeare now. I'm not that interested in him anymore. I like ancient theatre, Greek and Roman, and medieval theatre. But I've also got an interest in clowning, dark clowning, which is the new style of clowning brought into popular culture by Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, not too fond of musicals. I like musical theatre, but not musicals. So, yeah, I'm pretty much like all styles of theatre. Getting interested in multimedia theatre at the moment, where the use of film and video sound on stage. So using video projections within a work. Yeah. It's where everything's heading.
Actually, I think I want to watch the adaptation system.
Yeah, that's multimedia theatre. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping to sort of get something like that happening here. The whole point about theatre is that the major revolutions in theatre don't happen in 1,000-seat auditoriums. They happen in 100-seat